Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Joshana here to talk about some friggin' books. This tag, I cannot find the original. I have been searching, I've been clicking on people's videos to look to see, like, original tag. I've searched on YouTube. I think someone mentioned it was originally on a blog. I don't know what blog, I can't find a link. I will keep looking and try to have it linked down below. If you know, please just leave a comment and let me know. But I recently saw Robin Reads do this tag, and yeah, the questions just seemed fun, so here we are. I have not written down answers, as per fucking usual. Let's just get into it. Number 1, what is the longest amount of time you can comfortably go without picking up a book? I mean, I think about reading every day. 1000%. I think about either wanting to read something or I should be reading something, want to make time to read something, whatever. But if I'm busy or if I'm just not in the mindset of wanting to sit down and read and I just want to watch TV instead or, you know, play The Sims or whatever the fuck, I can go a few days without touching a book. Again, I still think about it every day, so after about 2 or 3 days, I definitely, the itch is there of like, all right, I need to read a chapter at least, you know? And whether or not it's I want to or I need to depends on probably the books I'm reading and the mood I'm in. But yeah, if I go longer than that, it starts to feel weird, I would say. If I go like a whole week without picking up a book at all, it feels really fucking weird. Number 2, how many books do you carry on your person, either a device or like physical, at any given time? I mean, I have my phone, which does have the Kindle app. I literally never read on my phone. I'm never using the Kindle app on my phone. Even if I have like an ebook from Libby, like from the library, I'm never reading it on my phone. I mean, I might have like an audiobook that I do listen to with my phone, but that's very rare. As you all know, I don't do a whole lot of audiobooks. If I'm gonna go somewhere where I'm like, I need a book with me, I usually just take one book. I might bring my Kindle, but there's like one book that I'm reading. But I guess technically if I bring my Kindle, I have more than that. Not that many more though. Some of y'all that do Kindle all the time, you have way more books than I do on my Kindle, I'm sure. Number 3, do you keep every book you buy or receive, or are you happy to give them away to make some more space on your shelves? I mean, you all know I do unhauls pretty frequently. I'm very happy to pass books along that I don't want anymore. I try to kind of have the philosophy as far as book collecting, book owning. My book collection personally is books that I could see myself reading again someday, generally speaking. I do have doubles of some books that are my favorites, where I know I'm gonna reread them and I want the paperbacks, but I also love them so much and I want the hardcovers just to have, I guess. But yeah, I definitely unhaul frequently because if I'm never gonna read it again, even if it was a perfectly fine book, you know, I enjoyed it, but I just don't feel like I'll ever care to read it, I'm gonna unhaul it. Number 4, how long would you spend in a bookshop on a standard visit? So it kind of depends, because normally I'm going to Changing Hands and or Bookman's that are local bookstores here in Phoenix, and I'm doing trade-ins. So I have to wait, and it kind of depends on how long I have to wait for them to go through. Changing Hands tends to be a longer wait, so it might be 45 minutes, might be an hour and a half. If I'm not doing a trade-in and I'm just perusing a bookstore, I mean, I still can be there for an hour or 2. It just really depends on the time. But yeah, it's very rare that I'm like, there's one book in particular that I need to get and I'm just gonna go in and buy it and leave and I'm only gonna be in there for like 10 minutes. That doesn't usually happen. Number 5, how much time per day do you actually spend reading? Depends on the day, for sure. I'm a mood reader, and that includes not only what books I'm picking up to read, but how much I'm reading in a day. As I've gotten older, I can't usually just sit down and read for hours at a time anymore. When I was a kid, oh my God. When I was a kid, it was like Joshana has a book literally all the time. My dad would tell me I couldn't bring my book into restaurants because any available time where I wasn't eating food, directly in a conversation with someone, playing a game, playing with my friends, whatever, watching TV, like what I was reading. Even if the TV was on, I would be sitting there reading, completely zoned into the book. Any car rides, just going into town quickly, I had to have a book, always. So, yeah, that was my childhood, and that's not the same now. It's very rare now that I can read for more than like 30 minutes in one sitting. But there are times where, like, on my work breaks, I'll read. And so throughout the day, I end up reading for an hour and a half total, but like, it's not just in one sitting, usually. I would say on average, I probably read 30 minutes per day. But then there are days where I don't read at all. There are days where I read an hour, and so on. Number 6, where does the task picking up a book fall on your daily to-do list? Again, wherever. As I said, I will sometimes read on my breaks during work. If, I take like 10 minutes, I'll sit there and just read to like take a break. My lunch break sometimes, which is an hour, I'll read on that. Usually right after work, I'm not reading because that's usually when I'm going to go to the gym or do something else where I'm not like sitting down and looking at something like this, as I've been doing all day for work. And usually right before bed, I will try to read a little bit, but I tend to only read for 15 to 20 minutes in those cases because I just get sleepy and go to bed. I would say when I sit down to like, I'm going to read, it's more often kind of in the evening hours out on my couch, but not like right before bed, but like after I've been to the gym and like eaten dinner and whatever, and I'll just sit there and like have some bullshit on TV and I'll be reading. Number 7, how many books do you reckon you own in total, including ebooks? So I know, well, it's on my phone, the app. I use BookBuddy to keep track, and I think it's like 400 physical books or something like that right now, 380 to 400, somewhere around there, that I own. Ebooks, I probably own, 20, maybe, and that's like including ARCs. So if we take the ARCs out, it'd be less. Well, maybe not. It might be more like 30 or 40, including e-ARCs, and like 20 just that I own. Number 8, approximately how often do you bring books up in conversation? Depends on who I'm talking to. Most people in my real life don't care about reading. They don't like to read. It's not their shit, so I rarely will bring it up. I'll really only bring it up if it's like something is being adapted into a movie or a TV show and I'm like, oh, the book. I read the book. And like a couple of my best friends do like to read, so every now and then I'm like, hey, you should read this book. I think you'd like it. But yeah, with people in my day-to-day real life, like work and friends, I don't bring it up a shit ton, I guess. But obviously if I'm talking to like my BookTube friends, then it comes up all the time. Number 9, what is the biggest book, page count wise, that you have completed reading? I feel like maybe Fire and Blood or House of Earth and Blood. Hey, all these blood. This one's like 700 some pages. Years ago, I tried reading Anna Karenina, which I think would have been, but that bitch I gave up on real hard. This one has 800, so I feel like this one, unless, is Kingdom of Ash? Oh yeah, Kingdom of Ash. Oh geez, I'm so close to the camera. Kingdom of Ash has 980 pages. So actually, this one. Number 10, is there a book you had to get your hands on against all odds? Searching bookstores, online digging, stalking authors, etc. And I feel like no. Well, probably some of my Wuthering Heights, the one that's like painted. Let me see if I can reach it with my mic attached. Maybe this one, just because when I did search for it, there were only 2 copies that I found online anywhere. And one was like $35. And then I randomly came across this one, a used copy that was like $14 or something, if I remember correctly. And it's just so beautiful. But I mean, I didn't have to do that much digging, so I don't know. There is another Wuthering Heights edition that I really want, but every time I've looked, I've seen copies of it. It's just a matter of buying it. 11. Is there a book you struggled to finish because you refused to DNF? No. If I'm really struggling that much, I will DNF in a heartbeat. I don't care. The Beautiful and the Damned is one where I'm like, I should have DNF'd that thing. But it was, I remember it being like a quicker read. It wasn't super long from my memory. And it was kind of more of like a morbid curiosity that was driving me. You know what I mean? Like, I was fucking hating these characters, but it was kind of like watching a car crash, and also kind of like, are they gonna be redeemed? Like, I need to see if these motherfuckers are gonna be redeemed. And they fucking weren't. And so then when I finished it, I was like, I should have just fucking DNF'd this shit. But I didn't. But yeah, no, if I'm struggling that much, I'm just gonna I don't ever refuse to DNF a book. Number 12, right? Yes, 12. What are 3 or some of your bookish goals for the year? I mean, I have a few. I have like a few reading challenges of rereading certain things. Rereading this series was priority, and that's why I have done the read along, and we are on book 5, and I need to start that soon, frick. But that one, and then what else did I want to read? I want to reread this, Fire and Blood, and I want to read this whole series. I've read the first 2, so I just need to read these 3. I want to reread Jade City and Jade War. Oh, get my owned TBR down, which so far I'm failing at. It's fine. Number 13, have you ever had the privilege of converting someone into a reader, either through persuasion, inspiration, or through incessant nagging? I don't think so. No. Like, I've had boyfriends who have read slightly more than they would have because of my influence, I guess. But not, like, they didn't, like, become avid readers, necessarily. Number 14, describe what books mean to you in 5 words. Adventure, freedom, knowledge, experiences, entertainment. There we go. There we go. Those are all the questions. I'm not going to tag anybody today because I can't be fucking bothered. But do the tag if you would like to do the tag. And again, if you know where this originated from, please let me know. Leave a little emoji if you just want to say hi. Please like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you feel like it if you haven't already. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.